Hi, this is Orlando at Oh About That. So I want to talk to you about a possible delay in your request when you're praying and when you're looking for God's guidance to acquire anything in your life or to succeed in anything in your life. Yes, you will notice a little bit of a delay, and that's fine. You got to understand faith is not subject to time, and time does not control faith. But everything will arrive exactly when you need it and how you need it. And that's where you have to place your faith in. And you have to believe that rather than believing and setting in your mind, it has to arrive at a specific time. It has to arrive by this time. Otherwise, all is lost. All is not lost. You have to remove that from your mind because that's only placed there to make you trip and fall. That's an obstacle to keep you from being able to run the race, to stand in your way so that you may have to detour or take another route. You don't want to do that. You want to move through this. You want to break through this and you want to get to the other side and achieve exactly what it is that your goal is, exactly what it is that you're looking for. I'll give you a great example. In the book of Daniel, in Daniel chapter 10, from verse 12 forward, it states that Daniel prayed 21 days before the angel arrived with his request, with the answer to his request. And the angel explained to him what caused the delay and so forth. But there was a delay. And you have to understand that. You have to expect that there's a delay. There's other situations that may be causing that delay. It may be that God is waiting for a specific time for a specific reason. It may be that there are other people involved that have to be maneuvered around in situations that have to be maneuvered around in order for you to acquire what it is that you need. So you have to understand that things like that take time. But that delay is actually a blessing because a lot of you may be thinking, this is the greatest thing, this is exactly what I need, this is what I've been looking for, and then all of a sudden there's a new product, there's a new thing, there's a new something, and you realize, oh, has exactly what I've been looking for, this is exactly what I wanted. The other one had some of the things that I was looking for, some of the things that I wanted, but this has everything. And so you see there's always that change. Life is always changing. So it may be a blessing in your life to actually have a delay there. Now, what you do need to keep in mind is that if you begin to pray and due to a delay you give in to your disbelief, it will reverse the blessing that you are about to receive. You don't want that to happen in your life. You don't want to reverse that blessing. You want it to keep moving forward. In James, the book of James, chapter 1, verse 6, it says, and it's talking about people who are praying, people who ask for things in faith. And it says about those people, but he must ask in faith without doubting. For the one who doubts is like the surf of the sea, driven and tossed by the wind. And a lot of us are going exactly that route. You're being tossed around. You want the easy way out. If you see any obstacles, then it's a deterrent. You immediately want to quit. You want to change and you want to go another route. And that's not how it works. A lot of times, when you acquire things easily, you don't have the same respect, you don't have the same admiration, you don't have the same love for that that you would if you would have sweated and worked hard to acquire it, to achieve that goal. Then you have a certain respect, then you have a certain love for it because you know it took sweat and tears and work to be able to acquire that. So don't take the easy way out. Don't go just because that's the way the wind is blowing and so I'm going to just float with the wind. Don't do that. Fight through it. Fight against the wind. Fight against the storm. Face the storm because a real believer, he doesn't just go whichever way the wind blows. A real believer is going to fight through the wind. He's going to fight through the storm because he wants to achieve what he wants, not just whatever life brings you. And that's exactly where you want to be in your life. You don't want to be that kind of person that just accepts whatever life brings them. You want to be the one that acquires exactly what you want, exactly what you need, and the way that you want it. So you fight through it and you pray and you believe for it that way. You just don't give up. A great example in the book of Matthew, chapter 14, verse 29, when Jesus was walking on the water, and Peter asked Jesus if he could come out in the water. Starting in verse 14, in chapter 14, verse 29, Jesus told him, "Come." And Peter came out of the boat, and he walked on the water and came towards Jesus. But seeing the wind, he became frightened, and beginning to sink, he cried out, "Lord, save me." Immediately Jesus stretched out his hand and took hold of him and said to him, "You of little faith, why did you doubt?" And that's exactly what happens to us nowadays. We go out and things are starting to happen. We see things are starting to happen, and we look over to the right and we see that there's a storm coming. There's some kind of a blockade. There's some kind of a struggle. There's some kind of a obstacle there, and all of a sudden we start to sink in our doubt, in our disbelief, in our despair. Don't allow that to happen in your life. Fight through it. Fight through it. Work it. Believe it. Believe that it's going to happen. Believe you're going to stay walking on that water, that you'll remain firm. And that's what will happen. So at times, we feel things need to happen specifically. It has to happen by this time. Don't set yourself up to fail that way, because that's exactly what it is. You're setting yourself up to fail. You're setting an obstacle there, and when things don't happen exactly that way at exactly that time, now you want to quit. This isn't working. This isn't real. This is a scam. This is this, that, and the other thing. No, that is not how it works. Believe that it's coming, and it will come. This is not a genie thing where you snap your fingers and everything just immediately pops in front of you, and everything happens immediately right away. That's not how it works. But faith, believing in faith, means that you stick to it. You know without a shadow of a doubt that it's going to happen, and it will most definitely happen. You have to understand too also that when you see things not happening, and you start to doubt, and you start to drown in your sorrow, and you start to drown in your disbelief, that's gonna cause adverse effects into your emotions, in your heart, in your mind. Proverbs chapter 13 verse 12 puts it this way: hope deferred makes the heart sick, but desire fulfilled is a tree of life. Let that tree be your life for you. Thank you for watching All About That. Be looking out in Instagram and Facebook for follow-throughs to help you stay firm, to help you keep going, pushing through, and fighting the good fight of faith. Thank you. You have a great day.